watching East Coast Lodge. East Coast Lodge with Matt. And this is Tom Green.
Hey guys, it's just Matt here. I'm back. I know it's been a while since we talked about the Leafs, but let's not ever wait that long again, hopefully. I'm here, as you can tell from the walls behind me. I just moved. I'm renovating the spot I just moved into. So that's why it's been a while. Sorry about that. I've been really busy, but I'm back now, and we can talk about our favorite team again. So that's pretty exciting, and let's get into it, right, guys? Right, let's do it. So to start things off, the Toronto Maple Leafs are about $13.25 million over the cap, but with LTIR, looking at cap friendly here, I see that actually brings us down to just under $3 million over the cap, and obviously Matt Murray and Jake Muzzin will be the ones on LTIR. Who knows if either of them will ever play in the NHL again? I really wish that Muzzin would be okay, but not looked good for a long time. He played 4 games at the start of last year, and I don't even know if he got back on the ice after that. It's not looking good. Matt Murray obviously injured at the end of last season, and I don't think he'll be back. It's just every time he comes back, it's just he's going right back on LTIR. He's just getting injured again. We've seen this since he was in Ottawa, maybe even before he was in Ottawa. I didn't follow him too much before he was in Ottawa, but when he was in Ottawa, I know he just couldn't stay healthy. He came to Toronto. We had high hopes for him, but he can't stay healthy. So our main goaltenders are going to be Ilya Samsonov, which that's actually great. He's awesome. And Joseph Woll, which I have high hopes for Woll. I think he's going to be a great goaltender, to be honest with you. I am super excited for that. But so we're $3 million over the cap, and I guess I just conquered our goalie situation pretty quick because, let's be honest, it's not too much to talk about, too much stuff that we didn't already know. Matt Murray's not going to be around, and Samsonov and Woll are obviously our main 2 guys. We picked up Martin Jones. I think he's just for, if we really need him, if one of those 2 guys gets hurt. Hopefully not both of them gets hurt at the same time. Fingers crossed that does not happen. If one of those guys gets hurt, then Martin Jones can come up and be the backup. And that's obviously why we got Martin Jones. I don't think he's going to play too much hockey for the club, but we welcome him anyway. Hope he does great, and glad he's a Leaf. We need the goaltending depth, and he's not the absolute worst option that we could have went with. He's probably going to be better than Matt Murray was back there. Let's be real. I'm not too upset about us getting Martin Jones. All right, now let's move into who we got in free agency. Since we've talked about that, we've got Tyler Bertuzzi, Max Domi, John Klingberg, and Ryan Reeves. What do these guys bring to the Toronto Maple Leafs that wasn't already there? Well, I think it's hard to change a team's identity, right? It's hard to change a team's identity when you're not changing any of the core. These guys changed the identity of this team. Max Domi has history with this team. He grew up in Toronto. His dad was a Leaf legend, is a Leaf legend. Once a Leaf, always a Leaf. He's a Leaf legend. Now his son is going to be a Leaf legend. Ryan Reeves is just such a big character. How does he not change the dressing room? Tyler Bertuzzi, super skilled, big personality. That's going to change the dressing room. John Klingberg, he's not too much of a personality guy, but he'll fit right in with William Nylander and the Swedes. Willie is the leader of this team. He always picks up the European guys and kind of leads them. And Willie was super excited about John Klingberg joining the team. Is he changing the personality of this team too much? Maybe on the back end, yeah. Maybe their back end starts getting points more. Maybe they start actually putting pucks on net. We haven't seen the Toronto Maple Leafs put pucks on net other than Morgan Rielly in the playoffs in forever. It just doesn't happen. So John Klingberg can change the dynamic on the back end, but as for the whole team personality, I'm really looking at the other 3 big guys that I just named, and they're really tough, gritty players. Bertuzzi, highly skilled, great goal scorer. Domi, really skilled at center ice. He's a good face-off taker. He's really good at grinding. He's a really elite grinder, as you could say. Like, he's a really great player. His personality really sticks out, and it's infectious. And Ryan Reaves, the toughest guy in the NHL, and one of the most infectious dressing room personalities. I really think that this team is actually going to change around these guys, which is something that would be refreshing. Let's be honest. I mean, our team, it's slowly in the last, since we've got Matthews, slowly every year it's like we get just a tiny little bit tougher, a tiny little bit more of that grit that we really need. But like, it's not enough. This might be enough. Like, this season, I think we actually did enough. We might have the grit that we always needed. Anyways, now just to talk about the forward situation and my projected lineups. Sorry if I look down for a minute, but I wrote my projected lineups down, and I just want to make sure I got them right in my head. I'm pretty sure we're going to have our first line be Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and Matthew Knies as his wingers. That would be amazing. I really feel like Matthew Knies could challenge for the Calder Trophy in that situation, and I feel like he is a good enough player. We've seen him in the small sample size we've seen him. He's really a good enough player to be put up there with Austin and Mitch. So I think the first line with Matthew Knies, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner would be an amazing first line. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see the second line be John Tavares with Willie and Tyler Bertuzzi. So William Nylander and Tyler Bertuzzi on his wings, John at center. I think that would be a great second line. John, obviously, in the faceoffs, he's a legend in the faceoffs, and then those guys can really get your offense going. John can put a pass on a stick pretty easily, and he might not be able to move as fast as he used to, but he can do everything else well enough to keep up with those other guys. So for our third line, I think we're going to be looking at Max Domi with Lafferty and Yarncroke on his wings, which, that's a really good third line. Like, that's one of the top third lines in the NHL, I think. Max Domi, Lafferty, iffy, but Yarncroke he's a top 6 player. Like, if you need him to be anytime, any day of the week, he really is a top 6 player. Putting him in the bottom there with Domi, he was another top 6 player. You have 2 second lines, and Lafferty, he's got the speed and potential to, really get in their zone and be able to make a play, get to the corners before the other guys dig deep. I'd like to see Lafferty with those 2 instead of him on the fourth line. Sorry, because I really want our fourth line to just be shut down grit. Speaking of that, let's get to the fourth line. Obviously, David Kampf, shut down center, the legend Kampfer. And his wingers would be Pontus Holmberg, which can bring just like any little bit of offense that Kampf might need to like add to anything that they might be able to capitalize on. And then Ryan Reaves to just completely destroy the morale of anybody he goes against. I really think that would be awesome. That'd be an awesome fourth line. Obviously, we're gonna see some fights this season. We got Domi and Reaves. Like, we're gonna see some fights. I wouldn't be surprised if the first game Domi's throwing down just because of his dad. I wouldn't be surprised if Reaves throws down the first game he gets put in, because Reaves might not be in every game. Reaves might be switched out with Dylan Gambrell. I don't know much about Gambrell. That's why I left him off the projected lineups. I don't know too much about him. I don't see him pushing anybody else out, at least the starting night. All that being said, I guess we should probably move on to defense. Obviously, Morgan Rielly is your first line lefty all day, every day, and that's never going to change. TJ Brody, I think, should be his right defenseman. McCabe, I think, should be second line lefty with Klingberg right D, and Gio lefty and Liljegren right D for the bottom line. And I think that's your 6. And I think Timmins is your extra guy there. Timmins is the odd man out waiting for his spot in the lineup whenever that might come. Gio probably not going to play every game because of his age, let's be real. Timmins is going to get plenty of opportunities, and he's a great player with tons of potential, and I really think that he could do some damage in the NHL. So really, there's nothing bad to say about Connor Timmins. It's just I think that the other guys currently are going to push him out, and that's just kind of how that's going to go. And anyways, the extra things I wanted to talk about at the end of the video, the extra things that, could have something to do with the Leafs, might not. The big one. Phil Kessel has not signed anywhere. Phil. The hot dog man. Do we want him back in Toronto? For league minimum, I'll take Phil Kessel all day long. I know what you're thinking. Shut up, you're crazy. He was overpaid when he was here. He never did enough, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't have the weight of the world on him anymore. He has a real team around him, and we're paying him league minimum to show up when somebody's injured and maybe help our team a little bit. I'll pay him to do that. No other team has given him an offer that he wanted to take, I guess. I'd give him an offer. I'd offer him league min to come back to Toronto. I think he would take the offer. I don't think he hates Toronto. He knows Toronto's a hellhole to play in. Like, our media is the worst media to play in, obviously. Like, you're going to get roasted when you make a mistake. Everybody does. But he's used to it. He's played here. I think he played for Toronto more than any other team. I'm quite positive. And he started his Ironman streak in Toronto. It's still technically going. Why not end it in Toronto? Bring the streak home, Phil. Come on home. We love you. Like, I love you. Come on, Phil. Come home. I'll have Phil Kessel on our team any day of the week for league minimum. Let's bring him back. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was actually the passing of Rhodian Amrov. He was a prospect, and he passed away of brain cancer, brain tumor. And I just want everybody to know that this guy, he had a tremendous positive outlook. From what I was told, he was really, really an amazing kid. He really was talented, and it's super sad that he's going to be no longer with us, and he's no longer here. On behalf of Leafs Nation, I just want to say Rhodian Amrov. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I believe I am, but if I'm not, I'm terribly sorry. I just want to say that we all loved you. We all love you. We wish your family the best. I wish your family the best. And that was just a horrible, horrible news for Leafs Nation. We were all devastated to find that out recently. So I just wanted to mention that. I hope everybody just thinks about Rhodian, and just, if you can, look up a highlight of the kid. He was amazing. He was a great player. We would have loved him. I wish everybody got the chance to know him. He really deserved that, and he deserves us not to forget him. So let's just remember Rhodian Amrov. Thank you.
Hello, Tom Green. Hey, Matt. You're watching East Coast Lodge. East Coast Lodge with Matt.
And this is Tom Green.
What's
the
up,
Tom
everybody?
Green.
Oh, yeah, bud.
The pioneer of podcasting right here.
I look like a pioneer right now.
Yeah, he does.